Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today you might be going to a job you hate or trying to make extra side income, and ideally you want to do this online for the flexibility. Today I wanted to discuss ways to start making money online even if you're a complete beginner or if you already started implementing some of these steps. This is how I personally would go about making money online if I was starting from nothing skill set wise and money wise, which the saying is true, it takes money to make money. As to get started, you're going to make sure you have funds to keep the lights on and to reinvest in yourself. For context, I work completely remote as a product manager at a tech company. I went to school for a degree related to what I do now, so that was a 4-year process of learning how to code, learn data structures, algorithms, networking, and whatever else comes out of the college experience. I also do consulting on the side for clients that either reach out to me individually or clients I have worked with in the past, where I advise on product strategy, go-to-market strategies, product marketing, and even data analysis when it comes to launching products or features so they're able to measure success with KPIs, which are key performance indicators to define success, essentially. I also freelance code a little bit here and there to keep myself writing code so that skill stays relevant in my mind and to find quickish projects I can contribute to that others are building. Also, as a side note, if you're going to school for computer science or something tech related, freelance coding is awesome if you have a portfolio of personal projects that you can show off. It allows you to start networking and gaining experience as a freelancer to highlight on your resume if you ultimately want to end up getting a job in tech as you're still finishing up college. Personally, I think it's the best of both worlds to be able to work a full-time job remote since I'm just working in my pajamas at home anyway. Since this saves me time not having to commute to an office and during my lunch breaks, for example, I can focus on other areas that make me money like stock investing, consulting, freelancing, and even learning new skills if I have the free time. First thing is, you need a strategy to make money immediately. If you are starting from nothing, where you don't have tons of money saved up or have no skills whatsoever and not currently learning anything where you could immediately leverage that skill to offer it as a service, then you need some low-level ways to make money. These are usually competitive because there is no or a low barrier to entry that anybody can do. The fastest way I made money when I started college was flipping products on Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, even garage sales and thrift stores. Pick something you're knowledgeable about like sneakers, clothes, electronics, computer parts, furniture flipping, or whatever. When I was heavily flipping products, my favorite was the Nintendo 3DS. I could usually find sellers bundling 3DS consoles with like games, screen protectors, carrying cases to sweeten the deal. Even some 3DSs were more rare than others. Like there was a Zelda edition 3DS console, I think it was called like the Hyrule edition, and some people were selling it at a price like a regular 3DS. The city I was living in when I was in college had the best sellers for Nintendo products. You know, the typical aunt or grandma that thinks all video games are just Nintendo. They walk into a GameStop and they ask the GameStop employee what the latest Nintendo is and buy it. I snagged deals where kids were being grounded or they got their 3DS taken away for some reason and now their parent or aunt is selling me this 3DS so undervalued because their kid can't even play it anymore. You have to be quick with these kind of deals. But flipping items is such an easy side hustle to get into to start making cash. If you have the time to scroll through listings and negotiate with people, it's so worth it. Or if you can provide a service that you're good at, like cutting grass or detailing cars, you can also throw up an ad and see if people are willing to pay you for it. Depending how far they live, an estimate of how long a job would take is how you can price that service. Like, I found a guy on Craigslist to detail my car. I told him my car, make, model, and told him the spots that needed deep cleaning or where I wanted him to focus on. I ended up paying like $300 to wash the outside of my car and remove a small stain on one of the seats. He literally worked on my car for less than 2 hours. So $150 per hour is not that bad, factoring in, even the drive time to get to me. Or worst case scenario, if you have to apply to a job working for someone else that is fully remote but low level, this is still a viable option. Virtual assistants, bookkeepers, data entry, transcription if you know multiple languages, also a good one. Even remote customer service or support type of roles. If you're able to do these at home, that's great flexibility. You won't be able to start making money right away if you're waiting for interview processes or filling out applications, and it might be competitive if it's a low-skill job that doesn't have many requirements, where the barrier to entry is so low, you're competing with applicants all over if it's completely remote. The point is, if you need to make quick cash, there's still viable options to do so. Some money is better than no money. And for some of my next advice, you'll need money to either buy yourself time or invest in yourself. Once you're in a stable spot, you want to learn a marketable skill. An easy way to find skills you should learn are actually to look at job postings for roles that you would do or be interested in. You're just using these for inspiration to see what other companies and people are looking to pay for, but you're going to leverage it yourself. These skills could range from learning SEO, which is search engine optimization. You could call local businesses in your area and see if they're looking to rank higher in Google and sell yourself. You can also learn how to code, build meaningful personal projects, not just calculator apps, or even learn AI to crank out code or projects, or even build an AI tool. Learn ads optimization for people looking to outsource someone managing their Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram campaigns. Also, another very valuable skill that I think everyone should learn is sales. No matter what you do in life, you're always selling. Either selling yourself if you're applying to a job as a candidate, or selling a good or a service. Learn how to make small talk, take initiative on cold calling or cold emailing prospects. Learn affiliate marketing if you partner with someone else to sell their product and make commission on those sales. You're always going to be selling something. The point of this is to learn a skill that interests you and can be marketed in the whole market of things that people would actually pay you for. Don't learn useless skills that you cannot sell. The very few people that I know who went to college for history or English or communications will tell you they regret it. Nobody's paying for that. Step 3, once you learn a skill, do the things that show it off. Even if you're not the best or so many other people know that skill, you need to show it off like you are the best. Take on projects from people, build a personal portfolio of the skill, like online, where other prospective clients can see what you've actually did and what the outcomes were. And to be completely honest, if you have zero experience, you might have to work for free. Yeah, it sucks working for free, but if you promise somebody you can help them rank higher in Google or optimize ads to lead to higher conversions for free testimonials of what your work did for their business, or even word of mouth to their friends, that is a start. Everybody starts off making little money, and over time the money starts flowing after you get your first client to multiple clients where you can start commanding your pay rate to charge. If you got good at sales, you can take on a fully commission role where it's low risk to whoever is hiring you, since they're not paying you anything until you make any sales for them, where you just get a cut of the sale. Another benefit from learning a skill and showing it off is that it can make you employable if you want to go the traditional job route. Make yourself employable and start working for someone else that is essentially paying you to learn and improve that skill with their clients. This also opens you up to networking and meeting others in the industry, and if you ever wanted to leave that job, for example, those clients that you worked with might potentially want to keep working with you even if you're no longer employed at that company. As an employee, I would still treat yourself as your personal brand. Sure, you're providing services for someone else, but at the end of the day, results are still coming from you. Being in the tech space, I know so many people who have left companies that I worked with, and I found them still working for the clients we worked on together, but just as themselves. If you leave a job, you can essentially work with the same clients from your previous employer and cut out the middleman if you're the one doing the consulting. If there is an ongoing project but you left the company, as long as you did good work, somebody might reach out to you to provide consulting work in this example. I know a few people who quit their job, but they contributed so much to the team, even the same company brought them back as a contractor where they set the number of hours they would work and what their hourly rate would be. You can essentially take clients from previous jobs where if you leave, just pitch the customers you worked for that you can provide the same services just as yourself. Obviously, there can be some legality issues to this, but you can look into if there's like a cool down period or clauses if you're providing services independently for the customers of your old job. Most small companies won't be structured so formally like this where they have something like this in place. Bottom line is, making yourself employable is actually a good thing. Suck up working for someone for a few years and make a side gig servicing old clients that you worked with in the past. Biggest takeaway from being an employee with a valuable skill is building your personal brand with someone else's company. Add this work to your portfolio, gain new clients as a side gig, work with existing clients from previous companies you've worked at, and charge consulting fees doing research on what other independent operators are charging to provide the service you can provide to stay competitive. Even big companies will pay for independent operators if there is a particular skill they could offer their employees as a learning experience. When I first started out as a product manager, my company at the time paid for a learning session that we could sign up for. I signed up because I'm still getting paid and I'll attend this couple-day workshop. The workshop was ran by a guy that was a product manager at some big companies and worked for himself now. We spent an entire day of this workshop learning how to write user stories in the correct format. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just Google the proper agile user story format. All a user story is an artifact that tells a software developer what to build, how to build it, and the test cases to test their code against. AI today could convert a user story you write up in Jira to the proper format. The format of a user story is not a big deal, as long as the developer working on it is clear on the requirements. But I'm sharing this as companies will pay for the dumbest stuff. This guy who hosted the workshop was good at selling and convinced other companies that this is a great learning opportunity for employees. He was able to set his price, fly in for a few days to run the workshop, and got paid handsomely for it. You could literally do that if you hone in on your skill, build a portfolio with some great experience under your belt, and host paid workshops teaching others how you did it. To summarize, if you're looking to make money quick, take on low barrier to entry tasks like flipping products or offer manual labor tasks that you're capable of doing. Second is to take that money and invest back into yourself by learning a skill. Third is once you're proficient enough in that skill, start marketing yourself. Offer services by cold calling or cold emailing prospects, even if you might have to work for cheap or for free for your first few clients. Or go the route of making yourself employable with that skill and even potentially to keep working with clients from previous jobs. Make a name for yourself in the industry. It's 2025, almost 2026, and making money online has never been easier. Back in 2019, 2020, this really showed the world that many jobs can be performed at home and many companies are still hiring remote. If you're able to work for someone else completely at home, then you can work for yourself at home and start making money online. Always be learning, always look for ways to sell your skills. People are always looking for results. And if you have the skills to make those results happen, then it's a no-brainer you're able to make money online. You can make anything happen as long as you put your mind to it. I hope you're able to get value from this video, and let's get to work.